A beautiful night for Friday Night Football at IG Field as the Winnipeg Blue Bombers get by the Calgary Stampeders. And the Winnipeg Blue Bombers is an interesting game. Offensively, they didn't have a lot going on. Calgary actually had a better start and were leading this football game 11-1.
It was almost deja vu from a couple weeks ago when BC took it to them in their own backyard, and the fans were going, what is happening? What is going on here? Because Calgary came out hell-bent and looked like they wanted to flip the script, just like BC was capable of doing a couple weeks back, but it all started right about here on special teams, and you got Brian Cole, who was all over the football field, particularly on teams and some defense as well. Got a block punt there, and then Zach Collaros, little hit screen fake, and McRae sold it, got Dozier out of position and to the house, and that tied things up. And then it was this return, McRae, look at the patience, setting up his blocks. Nobody, all over, nobody's holding, just people getting on their man. And McRae making people miss. Biggie making a play right there. About half field, he just loses his legs right there. It's like, what's he gonna do? He starts serpentining all over the place, and then he just finds a place to lay down after a huge return. His work was done, basically, absolutely phenomenal. And then from that point forward, it was Brady Oliveira, right? And that offensive line imposed their will. That is Brady ball to its finest right there. Zach just kept feeding him, and those big boys up front just kept doing their thing. I'm telling you, it was a thing of beauty. That's exactly the way the Winnipeg Blue Bombers like to take care of business here.
Yeah, a lot of Brady Oliveira on that final drive. It ended up eating up almost 10 minutes.
That's incredible.
Yeah, Zach Collaros chatted with our John Liu after the game.
Zach, it was tough sledding trying to get traction for the offense in the first half until you connected deep with Greg McRae. What opened up the floodgates at that point that led into the second half?
Yeah, it was a great play call. Greg really sold the screen there and caught it. I think I left it about a yard behind him, and he still outran the defense. It was a great play by him. I thought, obviously in the end there, he physically wore them out, so hats off to our offensive line. Brady for going downhill, and all of our receivers that get in there and mix it up too. And the defense unbelievable again this week. In the CFL, holding a team to 11 points, especially a team coached by Coach Dickinson, is really hard to do, and just really good job.
When you say wearing down Calgary, I think you're referring to that near 10-minute drive in the fourth quarter. How efficient in terms of its execution was that drive for you?
It was just physical. They just our guys up front, wouldn't be denied, and Brady just ran his ass off. It was awesome.
You mentioned Greg McRae as well, like with the deep ball, but the long kick return that set up a scoring drive. Is that something in his toolbox that was perhaps a surprise, maybe to Winnipeg fans, but you guys have seen in practices?
Oh, I mean, Greg can play every position, man. He plays running back for us. He's a running back in school. Comes up here and he's starting wide receiver for us at one of the most important, positions in our offense. Now he's, Janarian went down there for a second. He's back there returning kicks. He could probably play corner too, so he's a great player.
And thanks for the sack.
See ya.
Oh, he is right. Greg McRae is a great player. The Bombers also have a great defense, and we saw that. They gave up 11 points in the first quarter of this football game, and then they would not give up another point the rest of the way.
Yeah, and it was very similar to what we saw all of last season. It seemed like they kept people out of the end zone on a regular basis, and they were relentless. It took them a while to find their groove, and then they got after Jake Mayer, and Willie was doing his thing as he typically does from a lot of different positions, and then everybody else showed up in a big way. I thought Brandon Alexander played well, and DeMar Houston was just another interception, 3 on the season. Relentless pursuit here again. Willie just making Jake's day horrific, and tight coverage on the back end. Richie Hall finds a way to make adjustments and get these guys to continue to believe no matter what the score is. And McRae obviously tied it up late there in the second quarter. In the second half, it was the Winnipeg Blue Bombers like we've seen of old, just keeping people out of the end zone in very impressive style.
A great game for Adam Bighill today, who lost his father about 2 weeks ago, so another emotional game for him, and he was excellent. He caught up with our John Liu.
Adam, it was a very close first half. Your defense held court, held serve as well. It's like, how satisfying was win within that context?
Yeah, I mean, the second half, we came out and locked it down. I mean, got adjusted to some of the things they were doing, how they were attacking us. And, it was a tale of two halves for our defense. And, sure enough, I mean, not letting them score in the second half is big.
Being able to win on home field after what happened 2 weeks ago against BC, how satisfying was that part of it?
Well, I mean, we expect to win. We practice to win, we play to win. Home or away, in the parking lot, you know, in the sandbox, it doesn't matter. I mean, we're here to win, doesn't matter where we go. Just the fact that we're here tonight in front of our fans, and you know, it's always special when we get to share these wins with them.
Finally, Adam, the CFL community extends its condolences on your loss. The way that you and your team played in these last 2 games since your father's passing, would it be fair to say that you honored his memory in that way?
Yeah, I mean, that's everything I want to do every single day of my life is honor him. I just want to say thank you to everyone out there who's extended their condolences and support. It means a lot. It has helped me feel not alone. Life is hard, doesn't prepare you for these things, and you know, a lot of people had to deal with this. It's tough, but thank you to everybody. Much love.
Thank you for this, Adam.
Thanks.
Great words from an emotional Adam Bighill after the Bombers pick up another victory. They will take on Ottawa, and a big one for Calgary now at 1-3. They get the Riders in Regina next weekend.
Whew, it doesn't get any easier. Those are all tough outs. I mean, it's the difference between winning and losing in the Canadian Football League is minimal. Sometimes it's just believing in yourself and grinding it out. And you heard several players there talk about the physicality of the game and how they impose their will. Adam Bighill talk about it. You even heard Zach Collaros talk about it. And to me, that's the difference. And when Winnipeg's on their game, imposing their will, being physical like they have been or capable of being, it's tough for other people. And they're a tough out, one of the toughest outs in the Canadian Football League, has been for the last 4 years. And Godspeed to Adam and his family, and condolences to him. And I don't know how he did it tonight, but he certainly honored his old man.
He was excellent, no doubt about that. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers 28-3 now in their last 31 games at home. Much reason to celebrate tonight for the Bombers and their fans.